Tyler, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Sunday would be perfect for that. Then Rusty, who is for snow? I'll put it reworded that, by the way. But yeah, who is for snow? Yeah, a lot of people are, Rusty. A lot of people are. A lot of folks out there love it. Little sleets there into Frankfurt this morning. All right, we're going to take a closer look at that. And, of course, the rest of the radar trends coming up here in just a second. First off, welcome to Snow Talk. I'm meteorologist Brian Good. Our daily blog where we have a chance to cover normally snow. But there is a chance this blog will have to do, it's rare. I say rare, but it seems like 2 or 3 times a season, we do find that Snow Talk has to take a back seat and go into Storm Talk mode, and we cover severe weather instead of snow, which is not fun, right? Certainly in this time of the year, but there is a chance that could happen as we move into later this week there to about Saturday. So more on that in just a second. Quick correction. Sorry about that, Rusty. Who is ready for snow? There you go. That's better. There you go. That's better. Jackson's like, oh no. Homesick today. Oh no. He hear that, Jackson. I'm doing well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm doing all right. I would do a lot better if we had some snow, right? That's what we need. That's what we need around here. So let's get to the snowboard, and I'll walk through the current setup with the radar, and then we'll get into the weekend system that's getting a lot of attention. And if it's not getting a lot of attention now, it likely will here very, very soon. Okay, so here's the latest on the board. Today we have this mix that's around a bit of rain and sleet. Not so much a snow scenario. I've only had one report of a flurry, but the atmosphere above our head is actually, as I'll show you on the map, is warmer. So it's more than likely, if anything, it would be in a sleet pellet or two that could mix in, or ice pellet. Sleet pellet is redundant. But anyway, or tonight, as we do get a colder profile, we could actually see flurries that will fly around, but it's just that festive flurries. And then right now, I'm still thinking the system for Sunday on the backside will be flurries, but there'll be a lot of them that could be flying around and make for a very festive look to the day, even if they are relatively light in nature. But to get to that point, it would take the other side of the spectrum, and that is the storm side, which we got to get through. All right, live look down into Bardstown. Beautiful there right now. Everything all decored. Of course, it's been a kind of a gloomy, cloudy setup here today. Here are the current numbers. At the ground level, important to note that once you get to about 36 or lower, you can run into some minor wintry issues that can show up on the ground, not causing problems on the ground level, but you can see some wintry weather. It's typically common. Some spots are close to that level, but a lot of you are rising slowly but surely out of that zone to where now we're dealing with anything that moves through to be in the form of rain. And you can see the showers now moving back into Louisville. We have a few across Corydon once again, all the way into Meade County, down into Breckenridge County, a few off to the north. Again, an ice pellet or two could mix in with those temperatures running on the colder side, a few areas and pockets, not exactly matching where the thermometers always are. So I totally understand that, especially across Kentucky. The terrain is different, so I can't say no on that. But so far, the reports from MPing have been in liquid form. If you do see anything other than that, you can use MPing on the site or on radar scope if you have that, and you can submit your report that way. But again, most of this is just a very annoying light rain, just enough to get the wipers back on again and to make for messy travel on the roads just for about an hour or so as it passes by. This is part of another Clipper-ish type system that is diving across the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region. Most of the snow is on the northern side, which is very common for a Clipper type system. Most of your best lift is going to be there, so most of your precip is usually on the northeast side of its track. There is a little bit of a tail to it right in through here. Notice how many reports of snow are coming in into the Twin Cities, but the radar is quiet. Gives you an idea. They're going to get likely a batch of flurries that's going to fly in behind this that are not going to show up very well on radar later tonight and early tomorrow. They'll be flying around, but they are causing snow reports to get issued as well. All right, here's what it looks like on Futurecast. Overall, you'll see that trend to get showers in here this afternoon. Temperatures generally in the 40s. Still, there's an opportunity. The way the atmosphere is set up, there could be an ice pelt or two that could be found where you get a little bit of the yellow that shows up on the radar, a more intense shower. It's possible, more of a grapple kind of mix, which is basically a very soft ice pellet. They can fall, but most of this will be rain. Most of this will be rain. Later tonight, as it moves on by, we get into the tail portion. Now, again, the modeling is not going to show this very well, but I do think there will be quite a few flurries that will be flying around later tonight, early tomorrow. No travel issues at all. All right, so be clear on that. And tomorrow looks like a cloudy setup, maybe a flurry or two flying around at times. The thermometer will go with roughly around 40, but that will likely be here in the city of Louisville. I think a lot of you will actually fall short of that 40-degree mark tomorrow. So tomorrow is a very much a winter-ish type of day where you want to, if you want to do any holiday shopping in the middle of the week, away from the crowds and try to take advantage of that. It's still that festive, cloudy feel when you walk outside to the car with a few flakes flying by. Some people really love that. It really sets you in the holiday spirit. It makes sense when the holiday music's playing when the weather is like that, right? Sunny and 75, not so easy to do. You end up start buying flip-flops and snorkels. Anyway, this will move off to the east. We do get colder as we end early on Thursday, and then we get into the storm setup. So here's how this is going to evolve. This is a signal that we've been tracking now, I guess, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. The signal for this event has been showing up for a while. So we knew this was going to be a significant cyclone. We just don't know yet exactly its entire story that it's going to bring us. The time frame hasn't changed a ton. It still looks like this is a weekend ordeal. So I'll start with the Euro. The Euro is going to warm us up, windy and warm the next couple of days after this Clipper leaves us. So Wednesday will still be the effect of the Clipper. Thursday's weather is all about this system. You will start reacting. The air outside will already be shifting in reaction to this. Quite the dip of cold air. Look at that. That line there's your rain snow line, typical rain snow line aloft. You see how the system, though, pushes in. Rain begins to break out Saturday morning. Then it wants to. Now, the Euro wants to do what we call the negative tilt, where you got a little more of an S shape. Oops, I always move this map. An S shape there. And rain snow line is actually really good to use here of the system. And whenever it wants to slow down and take on that little curl underneath and then track due north, because there is no way the system is going to be able to go east. It has to go north into Canada. So it's going to lift north. So it's doing that negative tilt to get ready for the lift northbound. If this were heading due east, we would have a little more of an open wave scenario, which the Euro at time, or the Canadian at times hints at. It would be an open wave setup to where it wants to just brush it by eastward. It'd be a rain to an accumulating snow, actually, because it would be much more moisture involved, and then it'd be done. It'd be a lot faster. In this scenario, you get a slower storm, but it is stronger, and you get more impacts on the, especially on the rain side of this. But a lot of wind, rain, thunderstorms, and then you get the backlash snow. But remember, the snow part, this system said north, so it's going to take the snow on the backside and take it with it. It's like, no, it's mine. So we're not going to get a ton here of a flurry set up on the backside if you go by the Euro. Euro's idea. The problem here, though, is that S shape. That would then put us into a zone for severe thunderstorms. It's a track we don't want to be involved in, to be honest with you. Our saving grace, there's not a lot of fuel, what we call a cape, that is showing up right now, mainly because of the timing of this being nocturnal. This is a Sunday night, sunrise, Sunday event of it moving in. So that's good. That would keep the severe weather south. However, it is slowing down. Each model run, there's just a small difference in the Euro wanting to slow down. If it keeps slowing down, it's going to put us into the afternoon hours on Saturday, and we'll end up with a little better opportunity to perhaps get fuel involved, and our severe risk will start to go up. We don't want that. We don't want that at all on the weekend, especially in December, but it is possible. Something that we'll be watching the next few days. The system, no doubt, with the way it's configured, has the potential for us to issue alert days for it. Multiple issues here that could come to play. We're not quite to that level yet. We're not there yet, but we are starting to identify marks that are showing up that will have to trend here. Severe weather is certainly going to be one of them. But the other issue, of course, is going to be very heavy rainfall, strong gusty winds. The snow part, again, right now, I'm not too concerned about just because of the track. Here we go with the Euro, though. It begins to take the entire system, moves it up to the north. There's the curl. There's the snow, but it's all about Indianapolis again. They get the curl, right? And then it just takes it with it. Bye, snow. Thanks for visiting. It's nice. And there is a clipper. There's a clipper behind it. Typically, we see that, right? With strong low pressures, you get a clipper. You get a friend. A little caboose. But because everything is lifting north, even the caboose is going to move to our north. Then after that, we get into a more zonal setup. It's actually a fairly quiet window we're about to enter here. With seasonal temperatures, no big storms or anything like that once we get beyond this weekend. So we do have quiet weather coming. All right, so let's look at the GFS. Similar, brings in the rain, perhaps a little slower too than what it had compared to previous runs on Saturday. Showers break out when here comes the thunderstorm potential. Timing is roughly the same, though. It's a nocturnal event. Not good for those that have light sleep, right? You don't want to deal with that threat at all. And then we go with the tail portion. Now, the GFS is quite generous with us and leaving behind a little more of a tail of light snow and snow flurries, but it would literally be light. I know it looks like a lot, but this is light. Flurry action on Sunday. By the way, Sunday's high, it should be met at midnight Sunday morning. I don't see how we're going to rise at all Sunday. And if anything, we'll fall perhaps into the lower 30s by Sunday afternoon and with strong winds. So Sunday is going to be a cold, blustery day outside. No doubt about it. It's a completely different flip-flop here from Saturday and Sunday, how the day will feel and how the day will look. So a fairly dynamic setup for the weekend here. Brings the snow. There's the clipper. Again, the clipper goes north. And then there comes the quiet period. Look at your severe potential. I don't know why the SBC part didn't mark on here on the last one. Sorry. But that's your SIPS analogs. You may not be able to read that. Read full. There's your SIPS analogs, which brings the severe risk into West Kentucky as we head into, this is mainly Saturday. And CSU, the learning module, similar idea, a little further north, but focuses that black dot is the max potential zone. So that would be very close to Memphis. And then the last one is what the Storm Prediction Center has, which is Arkansas and Louisiana. But they do note they may have to extend this into the Ohio Valley. They did note that. So the issue that they have is the same that we're looking at, is timing. Obviously, this being the day before it moves in, so therefore it's a little more west in its location because they would be more focused on the best timing of it being daytime Saturday. Same with really all of them. But if it slows down even more, we could get a Saturday, and then we could get, we could get a Friday and a Saturday one that could show up, depending on how this looks like. It could even be a Sunday one. I don't think it's going to slow down that much to get to a Sunday severe, but I think right now we just need to be weather aware. It's only Tuesday. And Cape is one of the bigger parameters in severe weather that is hard to identify until you get closer. We can get hints of it, but you can't really tell too much on the fuel part until we get roughly within 48 hours at best. We start getting a better handle, and usually it's even closer than that. We do see the wind fields, and that's the reason why there's already at least an opportunity to draw a map of anything. It's because the wind fields are so strong with this and the track. I don't know how you can't draw a severe risk right now with this kind of a setup. We don't want it to be in West Kentucky, yes, for sure, in December. So everyone needs to be paying attention anywhere from the Mississippi Valley to Ohio Valley with this one to see how it evolves. So what's next? Well, after it passes by, we do have that chance of maybe some strong wind gusts coming into play there, especially on Sunday. This is the outlook, by the way, on Saturday from the extreme weather index from the Euro. We're in the very low end potential of that. It's certainly maxed out on your fuel, your CAPE, more back where that zone was already outlined. Even from the CSU learning module, it was outlining a little more toward Memphis, Arkansas into Missouri, kind of stretching into Illinois. So that makes sense, but it is a little more east. The EFI is a tad more east than what the CSU was. So we'll watch and see what happens there. Again, this is for Saturday on its severe potential. And then you get into the strong wind potential, just general winds. They do get quite high on Sunday as the system passes by. So that's the reason why I think it's going to be a cold and blustery day. It's nothing quite high yet. It's just elevated on Sunday. Right now, the current gusts look to be about a 35, maybe up to a 40 mile per hour mark. If it starts to trend higher than that, closer to 45 miles per hour, we will be entering our own alert day type setup. I think right now that risk is going to be more east, not here, but we'll see. All right, looking at the upper pattern in the vortex, polar vortex, I'll get it right. You can see the core of it still across Siberia, Russia, still fairly strong. Forecast to stay on the positive side on the AO for a while. You notice the flow across the United States is a little more zonal. You don't see more cold attacks through the mid portion of the month. And I think that will hold. And it may even hold all the way through Christmas, to be honest. It may buy us some time. The latest on the GFS trying to stretch the polar vortex into our backyard on the 20th of December is still there. It really wants to do that. It wants to try to pull down the colder air, build up the ridge. The ridge doesn't look as strong, by the way, as it did earlier a couple of weeks ago, but still, this keeps changing. But still, you get the idea that it wants to bring colder weather in for the end of December. Now, before I show you guys the snow map from the Euro that just came out, the new one for the long term, as my counter to this map here, is everyone good? Any questions that I can try to answer before I head out here and get ready for the midday show? Jackson, oh no, those nocturnal threats remind me of Mayfield. I do not see anything to the extreme of Mayfield, which is good. I just see the potential for severe storms. But Mayfield's setup stood out really in days in advance that it was going to be really, really bad. We do not have that kind of setup with this one here. There's nothing that screams that at all. So make sure that I'm clear on that. But any severe weather is bad. So there's no way to sugarcoat that. You got to always be ready, right? That time of the year. Any questions? Let's see. Hayden, what does it mean when the moon has, I can't read her, is it icicles around it? That's a sign that that's cirrus clouds that are kind of wrapped around it, a sign that rain is on the way, or precipitation in general, which has been right. And we've had that with even fog. We had some cool images of that. People down at the ground level looking up toward the moon. Kind of cool stuff today. All right, everyone looks good. All right, so let's go to the snow map. We'll end there. This map, again, from the Euro. Don't pay attention to the dates. Just be aware of the potential there for the snow to start to really ramp up as we head toward January. So yeah, there is a delay that keeps showing up with this, but there's still several members are filled in with a lot of blues and dark blues and still some pinks. It really loves the first 10 days of January in quite the big way. Again, could this be finally a typical winter for us, where everything lines up in the times of the year that we are used to seeing, or as kids we remember experiencing our wintry weather? It's possible. I know you want snow for Christmas, but I think we may have to sacrifice that time period as the changeover time to get us to the next step. We'll see. I'm monitoring carefully. Let's get through the storm for the weekend first, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let us know if you see any snow flurries later tonight. Have a good one.